So, Harry,
Yes.
in light of this film we're about to discuss, I have to ask, have you ever been nude on camera?
No, not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge. Well, that's a different question, isn't it? Really, to your knowledge. I mean, I've not talked about the hidden cameras in this flat. You know?
I've also not been naked in this flat, to my knowledge.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what was in the drinks. That got sinister. Sorry. Well, if you haven't ever been nude on camera, to your knowledge,
Okay.
what would it take? I'm not putting an offer on the table, but would you ever consider getting naked? What would it take to get you naked on camera, do you think?
Well, if it was promised to be my big break, and would stop me being so typecast as a Disney TV show kind of person, then yeah, I guess.
Are you saying after this podcast wraps up, when you launch your solo career, it's going to be all nude Harry all the time? Harry's naked podcast.
Yeah, sure, that works.
Okay, well,
yeah. So yeah, tune in for Harry's Naked Podcast. Come to your ears near you soon.
Oh, coming to my ears. Okay, I look forward to hearing it.
Okay.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. Really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Box Set, the podcast where today we are picturing prequels, sequels, and spin-off ideas to Showgirls. We'll also be picturing some drinking games and hearing other sequel pitches from our Twitter followers. But first, we're going to talk about some of our favourite moments from the original movie and catch you up with a bit of a plot summary. I'm Harry, the host with the most breast.
Breast? Just about your person? Or?
Well, if I wasn't going to make the joke, then you probably would.
Sure, yeah.
And joining me as always, the biggest tit of the podcast, John Lucas.
There we go.
So, yeah, that was fun.
Very good.
Showgirls?
Showgirls, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you subject me to this?
Oh, this has been on my list for ages.
Why haven't you done it earlier?
I don't know. I feel like I was waiting for the perfect time, and the perfect time never arose. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just get it out there. So, I mean, this is one of my all-time favorites. It's such a good time. What did you think?
It's a bit silly.
Master of understatements, as always, Harry. Oh, it's a bit silly. Yeah. Not the most credible film in the world. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Good.
This is maybe the most bizarre film that I've ever watched.
Really? More so than The Room? More so than I don't know what else? Yeah. In what way? In what sense do you find it bizarre?
And just how is it sold to people? How is it sold to the people in it? How is it sold to the people making it? How is it sold to people as a film to go and watch and buy?
Well,
I just don't understand how this film got made.
Sure. That's a different podcast.
I know.
I can answer some of those questions. Some of those questions can't be. For some of those questions, the answer is just cocaine, basically, as is often the case in Hollywood.
Okay.
Sometimes if there's no answer, the answer is cocaine.
Yep.
So this film was directed by a guy called Paul Verhoeven, who you will probably know for having directed RoboCop, the original, and Starship Troopers.
Right, yeah.
And so, he does big, silly films, like action, mostly films, very over the top, very campy. But he also did a film that I wish we could do, but it got a really bad sequel called Basic Instinct, which is the film he did before this, which is a famous erotic thriller. It's a film where Sharon Stone, who was a very sexy actress in the 90s, has an iconic scene. She plays like a is she or isn't she a murderer kind of character, where she's getting interrogated by the police, and she distracts the police by uncrossing her legs and showing full, like a split second of her vagina. It's a very iconic, sexy moment in film. And so that film was a huge, huge success. And so it was like, and that was in the 90s, these kind of erotic thrillers were really popular, I guess. It was kind of a very popular genre. People couldn't really download porn, so they just watched erotic thrillers instead. Yeah. And so this was marketed as like the next step after Basic Instinct. Like that showed you a peak. This is going to show you the whole tit and minge.
I mean, it showed you too much, to be honest. I got immune to it by the end.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you find, as a heterosexual man, did you find this film particularly sexy?
No. Not really at any sense.
Yeah.
Not even like your first little hint of cleavage or something. Where it's like,
there is no hint of cleavage. It goes straight to like boom.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this film doesn't do foreplay.
No, it really doesn't. It just goes straight in there.
Yeah, and it really could have done with doing a bit of foreplay before showing us everything.
Bit rough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's lube up first.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, this is on my long list of films that Little John discovered late night on Channel 4. This was always a late night film because it was one of those films, I think. This is the thing. This film came out and it got horrible reviews, as you can well imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the most famous so bad it's good films of all time. Mm-hmm. But when it came out, it was just considered bad. It got horrible reviews. It was a complete flop. It was a disaster. You know, it killed everyone's careers involved, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
But then it kind of immediately it lost money at the box office, but within a few years, it actually became very profitable as one of the most rented movies of all time.
Right.
Or one of the most rented VHSs of all time, obviously. And it also was always on show on like slightly adulty channels late night. So in America, I think VH1 bought it and put it into constant rotation. And here it was Channel 4. It was every Friday night at like 1 a.m. If you happen to be up, Showgirls was probably on. So I saw this film, I think when I was, too young to be watching this film. I think this film may have turned me gay. Seriously. Because the presentation of it's not just that it's not unsexy. The presentation of female sexuality in this film is legitimately terrifying. Like, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
so aggressive. So I think little 11-year-old John, whenever I first watched this, was just like, oh no, I don't want any of that. No. Like,
Yep.
she's going to headbutt me. Like,
Yeah, no,
it's truly scary. Like, and also hilariously entertaining. So.
Yeah. It's so Elizabeth Berkley.
Yes, Naomi Malone.
Yes. Do you think that she, the actor, has knows what sex is?
That's the other question. Like, I mean, in her defense, because she really got a lot of stick for this film, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, I know. She's not good in it. Let's be real. Like, I think one of the reasons this film is a camp classic is it's like, I think for a real camp classic, it can't be a film that like is trying to be bad, where everyone's like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is like Sharknado kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Those kind of films are fun, but I wouldn't call them camp because everyone's in on the joke. And camp, I think someone has to be not in on the joke.
Yeah.
And I think in this film, the other actress, Gina Gershon, who plays Crystal Connors, she's in on the I think she knows exactly what she's in, and she's kind of chewing the scenery a little bit and being very kind of vampy and fun. And I feel like Elizabeth Berkley, and I think people have said, who were involved in the film, she took it very seriously. She didn't realize what a piece of trash.
You can really tell.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like, she didn't quite get the joke, and it does show in the performance, definitely. Like, and also she's maybe not. She came from Saved by the Bell, which you probably never saw because it's a bit before your time. But like, she'd come from like kids TV, and it was that kind of classic thing of like, well, what is a child star? And even in Saved by the Bell, she was never like. She's very like attractive. She's got a great body. I'm not criticizing her personally, but in Saved by the Bell, she wasn't considered the sexy one. She was like the nerdy one, and then there was this other girl called Tiffany Feast, I think her name was, who was like the sex bomb. So this was very much that thing of like the nerdy girls, like, I'm gonna show my boobs and make everyone realize I'm a woman, like, and yeah, I mean, she certainly does that. But like, in her defense, like the director did say afterwards, like all the crazy things that she does in this film, the ridiculous over the top acting. Was how she was directed. So,
okay.
It's not entirely her fault.
Okay, sure.
But
yeah,
it's really one for the ages. Like,
yeah, it is.
Because a lot of more famous actors either were rejected for this or turned it down. So that Charlize Theron almost got this role.
Okay, yeah.
Drew Barrymore turned it down because it was too much nudity.
Yeah,
good decision. Sure. Yeah. I think they're the main two. They were the main two. Charlize Theron and Drew Barrymore were the main two who turned it down. Like people, and I think Charlize Theron probably thanks her lucky stars every single day she did. Yeah, because she won an Oscar, and I don't think she would have won an Oscar if she'd been in this.
No, probably not. No.
Yeah, but it is a crazy performance, and you do have to wonder whether a more talented actress would have been able to give it a bit more subtlety, maybe.
Yeah, a bit more nuance.
Yeah, because I think a lot of it is that there's not a lot going on behind the eyes. It's really...
Yeah. And there's never a smooth jump between emotions. That's one thing that I noticed.
The jarring tonal shifts.
It's so jarring, isn't it? Like, she'll be completely happy and then suddenly she's in a strop.
I was watching carefully this watch for this podcast. I've seen it obviously many times before.
Toddlers have more nuance than
I
she
am
does.
pretty sure, I'm not even being hyperbolic, I'm pretty sure she storms out of every single scene she's in. Every scene ends with her just storming out the room and slamming a door and screaming. Like, she never just like, has an ordinary human conversation. It's just, everything is from like 0 to 60. Like,
God, she does storm out of so many, doesn't she?
she also never,
I'm just thinking of just remembering more and more scenes that like, oh yeah, she stormed out of that one too.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite moment happens very early on. So we'll just see into the plot summary. So it opens pretty cold. She is Naomi Malone. She's hitchhiking. She's a lone girl in her late teens, early 20s. Hitchhiking away to Vegas where she dreams of becoming a famous dancer. She gets picked up by like a sleazebally trucker kind of guy.
Yeah.
He kind of says, hey, you can sit a bit close if you want.
Yep.
And she responds, immediately goes straight to pulling a knife on him. Just like, not like, hey, back off, dude. I'm like, just straight to like knife in the throat. Like,
I mean, at this point, I'm still giving the film the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, okay, so like in her backstory, which maybe we'll go into, maybe not, like clearly other men have been bad to her in the past and she just can't be asked to give them the time of day. So she's just like, look, I can be polite to this person and then he tries to rape me or I can just show him a knife now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's valid, yeah. I mean, we do get that backstory, but way too late and way too little.
Yeah. Because also, this film is long.
It is a long 2.5 hour film. It's like 2 hours 15, I think. But it does. And it does.
Her backstory comes in like the last, 2 minutes?
It's literally at the very end, yeah. Oh, by the way, she was, her mum and dad killed themselves and she's got a fake name and she was a prostitute. Okay, credits roll. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, because at that point, you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that like emotional hit of being like,
No, it really doesn't. Like,
that's why she's in so much pain.
Like, it's not interesting.
No.
But those words written down, like, oh, that's a lot going on right there. That's pretty interesting.
It's just that it's all revealed as like a weird exposition dump. It's not like a, normally in a serious drama or something, if you got this, you'd have like a dramatic flashback or you'd have a really emotional conversation where she like comes to terms with what her damage is.
Yeah.
But this is just like, your mum and dad killed each other and you've been a prostitute and credits.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably get to it maybe, but that whole bit is so weird because that's in like a background check that they're doing. But they don't actually react to her having an insane history.
No.
Like the worst background check that you could.
She's failed that.
Like she's wanted in many states.
Yeah.
Like she just keeps like starting a new life and moving on somewhere else, and they're like, no, we're still going to put her on billboards and stuff. And she literally drives off immediately.
Yeah, well, nothing in this film makes any sense.
No.
Nothing makes sense. You're right, there's no transitions. Nothing has any consequence that happens. It's just like a random collection of crazy scenes, most of which involve a huge amount of naked boobs.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she gets picked up and driven into Vegas, and she tells this guy she wants to be a dancer, and he says maybe he can help her out. And they end up in a casino because, of course, it's Vegas. And he ends up stealing her suitcase. He leaves her.
Well, like she leaves her suitcase
in
his
car. Yeah, she's pretty
truck,
stupid.
Yeah, like, and she's doing a big face as though like, I've really got to trust this guy. Why?
Yeah, why?
You don't know who this man is. And then what? You go into a casino, literally just get distracted by slot machines.
That really made me laugh how he gives her like a $10 note, doesn't he, to like play some slots while he goes and talks to his uncle,
whatever,
quotes, never seen again.
Yeah.
But then, so this is an example of the crazy transitions. So she puts some money into a slot machine and she wins a big jackpot and she's like, hooray! And she's like flinging coins in the air and she's so happy. Like, which, I don't know, so happy. And then it just hard cuts to like, oh my God, I've lost everything.
Yeah.
God damn it. Like, it's so fast.
Sure, I mean, that's Vegas, baby.
That's how Vegas works,
but,
sure.
it's just the way that it wasn't that guy stole her stuff. It was more that like she had no way of contacting him and she just forgot. She just got distracted doing it, and then she suddenly remembers like, oh shit, that guy.
I have a
my
suitcase.
Bag.
Yeah,
and, like, he's left. He might not have like wanted to steal it. He might have just needed to go somewhere.
That's true. Yeah, we never find out. Yeah. So she finds out that she's lost her suitcase, and then she just has this like weird panic attack freak out.
Oh, this is the first of many of her just way over the top strops.
Oh yeah,
and also the first of just anybody, not including her, behaving just weirdly, reacting weirdly.
Yeah.
So this is when we meet
Molly. Yeah.
Molly,
the only uncomplicatedly nice person in this film.
Yeah,
everyone else is a horror.
And and so Naomi is well, the guy parked up next to Molly's car, and Naomi is just having a strop, just beating up Molly's car for no reason.
Yeah, just
like
the nearest object she can start pounding
she's
on.
just hitting and like smashing her head against it, and like this girl is insane.
Yeah.
Like, stay away from her. Like, it doesn't matter if your car gets like dented or something, just stay away from her.
Yeah,
She is
put
bad
yourself in Molly's
news.
position for a moment. You've just popped down to the shops or something.
Yeah.
Or you're coming out of work. You see a crazed woman just bashing on your car and screaming.
Yeah. and like you try and she pulls her away, and then she just throws up
She just
immediately.
vomits out of nowhere, yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
And it's not talked about. And then it's like smash cut to sometime later. They're the best friends in the world.
Well, Molly takes pity on it and takes her for like some food, like for some fast food.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You can't skip this scene. This scene was insane. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. There is still a smash cut, but yeah. So they go for food, and what does Molly say to her that just makes her throw her chips everywhere?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This is my first moment. This is my first favorite moment by far of the insane acting choices that Elizabeth Berkley makes. So Molly asks a very reasonable question of a person you've just met who's clearly very distressed. And
where are you from?
Where are you from? And
like, that's a normal question.
Very
It's
normal, non-intrusive
fine.
question.
Like you could just say anywhere.
Yeah.
Or you could just say like around the place.
Or you could say what she says, different crazes. She just flings the chips in the air, like literally flings the chips in the air, like not like bangs the fist down and like, oh no, the chips. She like puts her hands in and just goes like whoop in the air.
She's lost the game of Monopoly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's hurling the table.
Yeah.
Just different places.
Yeah.
And then Molly's like, do you want to live with me?
Yeah. like whoa.
Molly,
no.
run far, run fast. These
Yeah.
are bad choices.
Yeah. Like she's beat up your car. She's clearly insane.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have a conversation with this woman without her just going mad and getting violent.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to invite her into your home? What part do you want to like try and fix about this woman?
Yeah.
Or like why has she earned your help? Why do you want to be friends with her? She's been horrible to you.
She never
already.
earns anyone's friendship in this
No.
film. She's horrible to everyone.
Literally everyone.
And she's our heroine. Like, she's
Yeah.
such a fundamentally dislikable heroine. It's so funny.
So bad. Yeah.
You know anybody here? You got any family that you can call?
I don't have any family.
Where are you from?
Back east.
From where back east?
Different places.
So Molly invites us to live with her.
This happens again as well
Yeah.
because like shortly afterwards we meet the bouncer. What's his name?
James? I can't remember. I think it's James.
Sure, let's
It's
call
not
him-
important, really.
Let's call him James for now. But yeah, it's not really important. And like through his own fault, I kind of guess he loses his job immediately.
I mean, their meeting is hilarious. That's something else. So this is a bit later. We can jump around the plot, but like at a certain point, Molly takes
Naomi.
Molly takes Naomi to a dance club, and she's.
I mean, firstly, it's the weirdest dance club in the world.
Yeah.
Like the music is so like distant and echoey, and it doesn't feel like an era of dance music that exists in humanity.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, this was the 90s. Like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it sounds like the sort of thing you'd have on like a mid-industrial alien planet.
yeah. I couldn't even tell you what the music sounded like because I was so distracted by Naomi's bizarre dancing, her club dancing.
Have you seen Elaine from Seinfeld dancing?
Yeah.
Because that's this, but like turned up to 11.
Yeah. Like everything in this performance is
Yeah.
up to 11, but yeah. It's the kind of dancing. If you see someone in a club dancing like this, you step away from them.
Yeah,
You're like,
you know that this person is on a lot of drugs
Yeah.
and things are about to go wrong.
There's
and
definitely
if-
about to be a fight.
If you talk to them, they will stab you
Yeah.
immediately, unprompted.
Yeah.
And so, what does this guy who is a bouncer go up and do? I mean, I guess he's like off shift for a couple of minutes or something.
Maybe,
he's
I
just
don't know.
in the club, whatever. He's like, well, he has a conversation with his buddy. And he's like, well, we're not allowed to join in. That's not part of our job. But the boss isn't here, so he goes and joins in, and exactly as predicted, she just starts a fight.
Well, yeah, he asks her if she wants. I think he says that, oh, you're a really good dancer. Lies. Lies.
Well, also the thing is about like his whole storyline with her is he's like hypnotized by how great of a dancer she is. I'm like,
She burns while she dances.
I'm like, from what?
yeah. She
When have we
dances.
seen her be good at dancing?
She dances like the Incredible Hulk. It's like Hulk smash, Hulk smash.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much punching. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to really create a perimeter around someone who dances like that. Because when Molly's like right up dancing with her, she's having to like dodge the fists or like as part of the dance move. It's dangerous. It's a liability. But yeah, I think he says something to her like, "Oh, you know, I could really teach you to dance, though. Like, you've got the raw talent, lies, but I could, you know, teach you the technique." And her response is rather than be like, "Oh, thanks," or "No, thank you," she just knees him in the balls.
Yeah.
Just
For
knees him square in the balls.
no reason.
Absolutely no reason. Like, he's not done anything that wrong. At worst, he's been like a little bit presumptuous. He's not like feeling her up or like, you know, being really inappropriate. He just is like, "Hey, you're a bad dancer. I can make you better."
Yeah.
Knees him in the balls. Immediately a fight breaks out.
Yep.
She walks off laughing.
It's like the whole club bursts into a fight.
Yeah, it is. It is like that.
It's like a
moment.
Western saloon.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's great.
Suddenly, it's a full punch up.
Yeah.
And she ends up getting arrested. And then he ends up bailing her out the next day.
Yeah.
Which costs a lot of money.
Why are you bailing her out?
I know, she-
Look, what does she do to deserve it? She kneed you in the balls. She's also a terrible dancer. Use your eyes.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and she has no gratitude whatsoever.
Yeah.
Absolutely
I mean,
zero.
maybe he's just smitten with her.
a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
Like, I'll,
questionable, but sure.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what we're supposed to believe, that she's just so irresistible and so enchanting and so charming that people just can't help helping her. Like, you know, people just want to be nice to her.
Yeah.
But she has absolutely zero gratitude.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, then he gets another job as a, what do you call it? The people who work in a hotel, just like moving luggage around.
Oh, I mean, he gets himself a job. She's not doing that job.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets a job as like a bellhop kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And at one point, she walks up and meets him at work and starts having a conversation with him, and he's having a conversation with her. His boss comes up and starts shouting at him, just like, no, move those bags. And then he loses it
Yeah.
and just goes mad, and he just starts.
Yeah,
swearing
this
at his
woman
boss.
costs him 2 jobs.
Yeah, and like, well, to be fair, he kind of cost himself both those jobs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because the first one, he said, right, I'm going to go and break the rules, and did that, and lost his job. And then the second one, he just gives up his job because he's in like a kind of minor, unimportant conversation with this
Yeah.
girl. Like the kind of conversation that you could just be like, sorry, I need to get back to work.
Yeah.
It's not important. It's not like, oh, my mum died or something. And
Yeah. No, he's just smitten with her and
Yeah.
the way she burns when she dances.
Yeah.
And he wants to teach her how to dance.
Yeah.
We might as well finish his plot line because it's so unrelated to the rest of the film.
it really is.
And
Like,
it really
I-
just disappears.
Yeah, like I thought, like, is this guy just going to be in it for the whole thing? Like, what's his storyline? And then it just fades away.
It really just disappears. So yeah, he's the closest thing to like a legitimate love interest.
Yeah.
Where he's obviously smitten with her and he's like saying, "Oh, I want to teach you how to dance."
Mm-hmm.
And then they have sex. Well, no, they don't have sex.
No. It's another extremely bizarre thing.
It's really bizarre and
So
yeah.
like I've written this song or this dance or whatever,
Yeah,
and I want you to do it. So follow my lead, and like he does some weird dance, and then she just does her extremely violent sort of kickbox dancing
yeah.
again.
The only style she knows, yeah.
Yeah. And
Taekwondo.
So yeah, he's like dodging all
The fists.
yeah, just dodging everything out of that. And then it ends up with her sitting on his lap and then starts giving him a lap dance. And like, was this the plan?
Is this part of the choreography?
Yeah. It's, okay, sure. But whatever. So she starts doing that lap dance, and then it starts.
Getting sexual.
Yeah, like they start snogging, go straight for tongues.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest first kiss ever. But cool.
Yeah, sure.
And he pulls her top down and starts fondling her breasts, and then he puts a hand into her pants, and she's like, no, I'm on my period. And then he has this thought like, oh, she's just pulling an excuse because she doesn't want to have sex. I'll try and talk her out of this. Nah, you're not on your period. I don't believe you. And then she's like, yeah, no, I am. Look, or whatever.
No,
Like,
feel it. But
yeah.
she puts his hand down
yeah,
there, and I
check.
guess
And
guess
he
he
puts
gets
his hand down and must just have like blood all over his hands.
that's really sexy. Yeah.
yeah. What? That's not a thing.
And then he's like, "Oh, we can put down towels. It's fine."
Yeah.
How desperate is this guy? We found out later that he's not having any trouble like getting his end away. So
No, like literally like hours after that, he just meets somebody else, gives that person this part that he's created out of nowhere. Like there's never mentioned if he has like a venue or a show, or if he works
We
for
see them
anybody.
doing the dance where it's like he's naked and then she's naked and they're doing. And I was like, what is the act here?
Yeah, I know.
Is this in another strip club? Because if so, I understand why the guys are a
It
bit
looked like
annoyed.
it was in the first strip club. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I
But
don't know.
he's naked. It's like, well, I understand why this isn't going over well if this is a heterosexual straight club and you're just nude. Like,
Yeah. And
I mean, none of the strip clubs made sense, but
yeah. So yeah, she goes back to his apartment and he's got another girl there. It's that classic story.
Yeah.
Even though he loves Nomi, he's just slept with this other woman.
Well, he has a great excuse, to be fair, and I think we can all relate to this because when she catches him with this other woman who's another stripper at the same bar, and then she she dumps him, whatever, and he takes her outside and he says very seriously, "I have a problem with pussy. Always have, always will."
Yep.
Yeah, it's an epidemic. What can you say?
No, sure. We all have that problem.
Yeah.
Then to conclude his story, Nomi meets up with him again in the strip
In a
club
nightclub,
after he's done his thing or whatever, and he's like, "Well, I'm getting married." And she's like, "Do you love her? Do you love her?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And like,
She's pregnant.
she's pregnant, so
I guess we're getting married. I guess
married.
my life's over.
And then it just lingers on this man doing the saddest face ever.
Yeah.
Probably the best acting of the film.
Sure. Yeah.
And like the saddest face ever. And like, oh my God, that man is about to commit suicide, like for sure. This is a terrible way to talk about fatherhood.
Yeah, and then he's never seen again. That's the end of his plot line.
That's it, he's done.
Yeah. And that really made me confused as well about, like, what do you think is the time frame of this movie?
I don't know.
Time has
Absolutely
no
don't know.
meaning in this film.
Yeah.
'Cause
it could be a few days, a few weeks. It could even be a year or two.
Yeah. I think it must be closer to a year considering all the things that she does, like to get to, but also if you told me it was just like some crazy weekend that she had, like
Yeah.
she just blasted into town and like ruined everyone's lives and blasted out again. Like you could believe it. The only thing that breaks that theory is the fact that he gets another girl pregnant, which that takes at least 3 months before you can be sure, right? Or like 12 weeks or whatever. Like,
No, that's before you tell people.
okay.
But you can find out much quicker. But
But if you're not trying for a baby, I can't imagine that him and this stripper were like hoping to be pregnant.
yeah, no,
So she'd have to realize she was late, and then I know a reasonable amount of time has to pass, and then they decide to get married and stuff. It's like, how much time is passing here?
Yeah, I guess that if you're there about like deciding to get married, then you're probably pretty sure, and that's not going to be like the instant morning after stuff.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And also these things are never correct in films, it turns out.
No, of course. Yeah.
But my main question was, who only gets engaged in Vegas?
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. Not even married yet.
Yeah, like is there ever that period of like you get engaged, but
you think about it,
you've not quite got married yet?
Yeah, if you're
when
doing
in
it
Vegas?
shotgun, the opportunities are right there. Just go and find an Elvis impersonator and get it done.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it. Sorry,
That's
man.
a very bizarre and pointless plot line that kind of eats up a good 30 minutes of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the main plot line is much about Nomi's journey from being a dancer to being a stripper to being a dancer again. I don't know.
Yeah.
So she moves in with Molly,
Mm-hmm.
her inexplicably kindly friend, and they're living in this little trailer together. And Molly works as a costume designer at the Stardust Casino,
Yeah.
which is the big ticket. It's one of the big ones, and they've got a show called Goddess, which is like the big show. And Nomi dreams of being in Stardust, but she can only get into Cheetahs, which is like a low rent strip club.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Cheetahs?
Yes,
yeah,
definitely, please.
definitely. So she's
I love this.
this was maybe the best part. Yeah, so she's a stripper at Cheetahs, and it's run by this sleazeball called Al, I think he's called. And his glamorous assistant wife. I wasn't sure what the relationship was here.
I have no idea what their relationship was.
Mama Bazoom, who was maybe my favorite character. No, was 100% Hero Crystal, but definitely up there as one of the best performances in the film. Like a performance by someone who knows exactly what film she's in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think as a kid, I was like, is that a drag queen?
Yeah.
I was really unsure.
Yeah.
Nomi's working in the strip club, which is run by Al, who's this very, very like, they have this very antagonistic relationship where he's just like constantly sexually harassing her, saying, you'll never be anything more than a stripper.
Yeah.
You need to, I'm not even going to take you back if you suck my dick. It's really vile stuff. And then, to jump ahead, like later in the film, she ends up leaving and getting a new job at, the Stardust. She moves up. And again, he's like, you'll be crawling back and all this kind of stuff.
Where's my blowjob?
Exactly. Where's my blowjob? And then just like out of nowhere, there's this like crazy sentimental scene where we're supposed to believe,
so weird.
where it's like, where they almost start crying.
Yeah.
Where it's like suddenly he's like a father figure.
Yeah. It's like,
And
what
it's
is-
really unexplained and out of nowhere.
yeah, and then it's never,
And then he's
done as
never
well.
seen again. She's
Yeah.
never seen again. Yeah.
And it's so weird. 'Cause it's like, okay, so is it like a paternal relationship, but the kind of, paternal relationship where the guy like harasses you for blowjobs at the same time?
And yeah, like it felt like it was missing quite a few scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But at least, yeah, and I feel like I've not been to many strip clubs in my life. I've definitely never been to one where there was like a comedy act. I think I'd like it more if there was, like like what she's doing, like this whole kind of Mama Morton kind of, she's this like very plus size lady who comes on and does a bunch of like very cheesy jokes and like everyone boos her, but she's like she takes the piss out of everyone. It's quite fun.
Oh, yeah,
like,
I'd love
she's a lot
that.
of fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's got a little tit popping act. That's,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
that's definitely my top 5 lines for this film, when they have the ridiculous emotional moment with the emotional goodbye, and she goes, "God damn, you're the one who could ever get my tits popping right." That's a great line.
Yeah.
Hey, God damn it. You're the only one who could get my tits popping right.
So yeah, Nomi's working at the Cheetah Bar, this kind of low rent strip club, but she wants to work at the Stardust, and because Molly is a costume designer at the Stardust, she takes Nomi backstage to meet the star of the show, which is Crystal Connors, played by Gina Gershon, who is this like Vegas diva. I wasn't quite sure what she was supposed to be famous for. She seems like she's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
But the act is just that she's topless.
The thing that I love about this movie is, well, there's only two really, but the
What, left and right?
the people that we get who are supposed to be celebrities. So there's Crystal, and then there's also like this big rock star who comes in at the end.
Oh, who's the ugliest guy in the world?
I know,
Yeah.
I know, and it's like, okay, so because they mentioned people like, oh yeah, we could have had Janet Jackson.
We could have had Paula Abdul. Yeah.
And it's like, so what is this supposed to be a Janet Jackson like parallel sort of person?
I was the same. Like, I don't think Janet Jackson's just going to dance around with her tits out in a Vegas casino for
for the rest of her career. Like,
Yeah.
No.
That's it. Like, it doesn't like make out that Crystal's like some Hollywood person or
No.
she's a pop star. She's just, I mean, she's a good dancer, but that's kind of all she does. Is she just like a local celebrity? Like,
I guess, yeah.
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
But it's like the whole Stardust show. It feels like it's stripping, but for like a richer customer. So it's like an art form. It's like, and I will say, for a film that's like a notorious flop, like there's obviously a lot of money in it.
Oh, the whole thing looked fantastic.
Yeah, these stage shows, I'd go to this show.
Yeah.
I'd watch this crazy ass show. I don't know what the target audience is, but I would certainly enjoy watching it. Like, because it's just all these, it's like all this like crazy like theatrical like Cirque du Soleil kind of thing, dancing and very dramatic and theatrical. But it's all like big boob ladies just dancing with their tits out.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird mix of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Crystal Connors is the star.
And men as well.
And men are there as well, yeah.
That show specifically was much more of an even-gendered thing.
That is true, yeah.
But they don't really get enough into the men's story.
Not really, no. Most of them are gay, but at least one of them isn't.
Yeah.
That's all we really get. But so Molly takes Nomi backstage to meet Crystal, and Nomi says, "Oh, I'm a big fan of yours, and I'd love to be a dancer one day, and I'm a dancer at the Cheetah." And Crystal is very dismissive and says, "I don't know what you're doing at the Cheetah, but it ain't dancing." And then Nomi's just like, "Well, fuck you. You don't know shit." Again, just like 100% overreacts and just storms out, and then Molly has to apologize and all this stuff. But then
This is another moment where I'm like, Molly, why are you friends with this person?
Yeah, just cut the cord.
Molly's complaining like, hey, I need this job. Don't get me fired. And like, yeah, sure, she's about to get you fired. You cut that bitch out.
Absolutely, yeah. Molly makes bad choices.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Nomi in general brings nothing but pain to anyone and misery to everyone's life that she touches in this movie.
You were really great tonight, Miss Crystal.
Thanks, darling.
Andrew Carver sent you these?
If that's what the card says, then that's who sent it.
I just love him. Oh, this is my friend Nomi. She's a dancer, too.
Is she now?
Yes, and she's really good.
Where do you dance at, darling?
At the Cheetah.
I don't know how good you are, darling. And I don't know what it is you're good at. But if it's at the Cheetah, it's not dancing, I know that much.
You don't know shit.
So she has this run-in with Nomi has this run-in with Crystal, and then a few nights later at the Cheetah, Crystal turns up with her boyfriend Carl McLaughlin. I don't care what his name is in the film; it's just Carl McLaughlin from Twin Peaks,
Yeah.
and from Blue Velvet. with his Gabrielle hair. Remember Gabrielle from the 90s? Did you like the what? You know how Gabrielle had like, you know who I mean, the singer?
Yeah.
Because she had the wonky eye. She always had like a hair over. You could only ever see one eye at a time. His hair was like that. It's always covering his one eye. I was like, Gabrielle, have you got a lazy eye? What's going on? Like, it was like 90s curtains, like the nth degree. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like the entertainment director at the casino and also Crystal's boyfriend. And so they turn up at the Cheetah Bar and Crystal pays Nomi $500 to give Kyle a lap dance while she watches.
Yeah.
And so reluctantly she does it. It's like a power move. It's kind of, you know, she's fucking with her a little bit. And so she takes them both upstairs and Nomi gives Kyle MacLachlan this very, very kind of spastic kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like lots of jerky.
I would have been very, very. I've had a lap dance.
Yeah.
I think you were there.
Yeah, I think it was.
And it's very uncomfortable. This looked painful as well as like emotionally uncomfortable.
She comes within a millimeter of just like headbutting him because it's so much like lurching forwards like into his lap. And then she's just grinding against him. And it's one of those, it's a lap dance. It's like, he can't touch her. His pants are on. He just creams his jeans.
Yeah.
He just fully creams his jeans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you'd think that'd be like quite humiliating. But he's just like, okay.
Yeah. I got a good lap dance.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. And Crystal's like, okay, sure. You creamed, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
and like when they leave, she's like, "Are you good to go?" And he's like, "Yeah."
yeah, I'm
like-
like, you don't need to go to the bathroom first?
I'm
wipe yourself off.
I'm a bit juicy right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to walk around in that, especially in like tight 90s denim.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be like running down his leg.
Oh no.
Well, it would be.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So shortly after that, Nomi gets an invitation to audition for a role as a dancer at the Stardust at Crystal's big nightclub act, basically.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Crystal has got her this audition because she's kind of intrigued by it. Even though they've had nothing but negative, interactions. She's kind of, like everyone else in this film, she's inexplicably intrigued by this horrible girl. So she gets her an audition, and then we get the audition scene where Nomi auditions for the main club, which is definitely another movie highlight for me. Yeah. So we get this like cartoonishly awful guy who's like the casting director, who's just like belittling and humiliating all these poor girls who want to be dancers. And it gets it down to like the final three, and it's Nomi and two other girls, and he says your nipples aren't erect properly.
Well, first of all, he's got down to the final three, and then he's like, right, everybody, show me your tits. And they're all really, really uncomfortable about this. And then he makes the very, very valid point. They're like, it's a topless show. Yeah. People are here to see your tits.
No, that's...
So I need, as part of the audition, I need to see your tits. And everyone's like, they're giving the... For once in this film, they're giving the reaction as though they're being abused. This isn't okay. But it's like, no, this is literally what you signed up for with this audition. So why are you surprised at this?
No, I agree. Like, they should have been prepared for this. So then she gets her tits out and she's standing there and he's like, why aren't they erect? Yeah. And he kind of humiliates her. He gives her some ice cubes and he's like, tease them a little. Rub some ice cubes on them. And she reacts poorly to this and she flings the ice cubes in his face and storms off, as she always does.
Not before the perfect line, I'm erect, why aren't you erect?
Yeah. It's a good one. So then her and Crystal have a little confrontation and she's like, I hate you. I know that you did this to humiliate me. I hate you. And then she storms off. But then she inexplicably gets offered the role. Like, she gets a phone call a few days later and she gets offered... She joins the dance.
And she's overjoyed by it as well.
She's so happy.
Yeah.
It's the least she reacts the entire movie. She's like, okay. Like, the only time she doesn't have a huge reaction is when she actually achieves her dream. So she's in the dance review, like as a backup dancer. And we get some great scenes of her learning the choreography, which again are quite iconic. These scenes are really confusing to me because there's a choreographer who's a lady whose name is Gay.
Yeah.
And there's also a guy whose only personality trait is that he's gay.
It's, I don't know.
So there's multiple times in this film where someone says, gay? And I'm thinking the ginger guy's going to respond because he's the gay.
Yeah.
And then it's the other girl. And they're both like not really characters. They're just kind of exposition.
Like, if you're making up a brand new character, why not give them a slightly more normal name
than just Gay?
It doesn't need to be a good name. Like, I've never heard anybody called Gay before.
Yeah.
Call her Gail.
Yeah, exactly. Just add an L.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I always find it so weird in films when someone has an inexplicably weird name and there's no reason for it. And it's like, you could have picked any name, literally any name.
Yeah. Just Gay. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, another top 5 moment for me. Just the visual of when she's doing the rehearsals. Well, there's the great line when he goes, "Nomi, what are you doing? Do a PK turn." Just do a PK turn. She just does a PK turn, I guess. But then the visual, it's burned in my memory from the first time I watched it. The visual of like a sweaty, like 20-year-old girl, like lying on the ground while an obviously gay man, like, is like pounced over her, like literally screaming into her crotch, just going, "Thrust it, thrust it, thrust it."
She's thrusting so violently that like she could knock him out.
He could have an eye out,
and he's so close to it as well.
Yeah. Really. Oh, it made me laugh so much. I love it. I've got a gif of that I use quite a lot. Just thrust it, thrust it, thrust it. It's great. But apparently she's like a very talented dancer, we're told. And she picks it all up and she's in the show. And we kind of get a lot of backstage stuff about like how this show runs. And it's a very kind of venomous, there's so much great dialogue of like, I mean, there's literally a scene early on in the changing rooms where one of the dancers comes up to her and just like they're all topless, obviously. She goes, "Do my boobs look bigger?" Like they're just naked, and of course they must be talking about being naked. Like in reality, this must be so normal to them. It's like a changing room, you know. But they're just so aware of being naked. But yeah, there's lots of weird shit happening backstage. There's lots of rivalries. There's that one. Well, there's monkeys. There's a random scene when a bunch of monkeys invade the backstage.
This? And then like somebody even says like, "Watch out, there's monkey poo stage left." I'm like, so is this gonna come into it? Like, because then it cuts to her first dance scene on stage, and she's like rolling around on stage and like doing pirouettes and like running and jumping and landing on one foot. I'm like, so when is she gonna slip in monkey?
Where's
shit?
the monkey poo? Yeah. But also, what is the act?
What, with the monkeys?
With the monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've seen that the show is topless ladies dancing around, or men. And there's lots of like dry ice and smoke, and it's like it's very theatrical. Where do monkeys come into this?
I don't know. Because also the kind of feeling that I'm getting from this is weird, but like it's classy. But then just random monkeys.
Yeah, it feels like a completely different show.
It's the opposite. It's like a slapstick comedy thing.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of reading up on like the making of this film, and actually considering it's quite an exploitative film, there's lots of like female nudity. The actresses generally said that they had a good time and they didn't feel uncomfortable, like they were treated very respectfully. They said the only thing that made them uncomfortable was the monkey scene, because they had to be topless around a bunch of monkeys, and monkeys will grab things.
Oh god.
And they were like, well, it's really hard to act when there's monkeys staring at your tits, and like, yeah,
fair enough.
So yeah, there's all this crazy stuff with the monkeys. There's also like there's one dancer who's really mean and like has a bad temper and yells at the other dancer's little girl and just like tells her to shut the fuck up. Literally tells a tiny child to shut the fuck up, and the little child just immediately bursts into tears. And I've got to admit, I laughed.
Yeah,
I found that pretty funny.
Same, yeah.
But then the parents, who's another one of the dancers, the mother of this little girl, gets her revenge on stage by hurling some beads so that the mean dancer gets tripped. Well, the dancer who's lifting her up trips and drops her, and she like bashes her knee in, and she's like out of the show. So we get this immediate sense that okay, this is a very like dog eat dog kind of scenario. You know, you've got to kill or be killed. Yeah, and there's no friendships in this town. Yeah. Obviously, it very much informs what Nomi's going to do to Crystal shortly afterwards.
Definitely.
And Crystal and Nomi, their relationship kind of remains quite tense. I mean, they start off they have an almost friendly scene where Crystal takes Nomi out for like a meal, and then they bond over the fact that they both eat dog food.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I think it's supposed to be implying that they both grew up super poor.
Well, it's because they started talking about the diet that they're on. Like, apparently the diet that these dancers are on is brown rice and vegetables.
Yeah, sure.
Which apparently is the worst thing in the world. Which, firstly, is it?
Like,
well, it sounds extremely plain and just not particularly nice. But is it bad? Like, it's just brown rice and vegetables. It's not awful. But then also, we never see anyone eating brown rice.
Oh no, Nomi exclusively eats bags of crisps and burgers.
Yeah. Which I mean, I can guarantee none of these women are eating crisps and burgers.
No.
They are not keeping that figure that way.
No.
So
yeah. But yeah, so they have this conversation, this quite bizarre conversation about how they both grew up eating dog food, but then it ends with them once again having some kind of arguments about, because I think Crystal's just obsessed with the idea that they're whores. She's like, we're all whores, darling. Like, And I think Naomi like thinks she's a dancer and she's and Crystal is always like, no, we are prostitutes, we are whores, and she's like, I'm not like you, I'm a legitimate dancer. Fuck you. It's like it's a lot of this kind of aggression. So they end up falling out.
I get it's what the film is saying, but I had to just sort of scream out loud to her at this point and just like, how are you different? Name one way in which you were even slightly different from this woman.
Yeah, except that she's earning a lot more money than you.
Yeah.
But Crystal kind of tries to take Naomi down a peg by setting up so that she gets taken on like a special appearance at like a trade show for boats, which it turns out is just a very thinly veiled excuse for like pimping out the girls. They're basically being pimped out to like rich Japanese investors. So Naomi gets into that situation, obviously realizes what's going on, is very angry and leaves, stomps off yet again, drink. So she gets her revenge by seducing Crystal's boyfriend, Carl McLachlan, ends up going back to his mansion, where they have
here we go.
Sex? Question mark.
Where they destroy each other's genitals.
Yeah, I want to see like a cross section. You know, like when you see like a, you know, I don't know what you do. Like, yeah, I want to know where his penis is at any given time in this situation.
Clearly tucked away in his swimming trunks.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, because this is not anything that you would recognize as sex.
No, it's not.
It's utterly bizarre. So they get into a pool. They have this whole conversation about how they both like Cristal, the champagne. So they get into this like hot tubby kind of pool, and then he just pours a full bottle of champagne over her head. And that's not sexy.
Yeah,
that's just sticky and a waste.
And then just starts licking it off her tits.
Yeah,
and I'm
sure.
like, oh yeah, just that's great. Like champagne and chlorine.
You know what? This is the thing. If this film was like narrated, you know, an audio description of like what's happening on screen, it would just be a chapter of My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's that level of understanding of how sex works. Like,
Yeah.
This is totally something Belinda Blumenthal would do. You know what I mean? Like, and then she got into the pool and just started like corkscrewing on his dick. But she's just like, I laughed so every time I laughed so hard when she's just like flapping in the water like a drowning seal, like
yeah,
smacking in and out of that pool.
And she's like underneath a water fountain as well.
Yeah.
So like she's being waterboarded at the same time as this. It's like,
and he's just like, you know, there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's not really doing anything.
No. Oh my God, to be a fly on the wall when this scene was being filmed. Like, did anyone ask any questions? Like,
yeah. God, I don't know. I wonder how long it took to film this scene and how many takes it was. Like, now more violent. More.
Yeah.
Lean right back.
Yeah. Give us more. Yeah. 11.
Snap it off.
Yeah. It would have snapped off. Like,
I mean, we've also not mentioned how much water is not a lubricant.
Also true, yeah. Also very true. I mean, yeah. Sex in swimming pools is one of those things that films love it. In real life, it's not that hot. No. It's just annoying. Like, you know, there's a scene where I think she's like giving him a blowjob like in the pool, and I'm like, is there oxygen in his balls?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Is it like what? So she sleeps with him, or does something with him that.
Well, they wake up in bed, so
they wake up. So at some point, sex happens.
It got a bit more normal.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Yeah. And then she gets an audition to be Crystal's understudy. Yeah. Which she succeeds in, I believe. I think she believes she's going to get the role, but then Crystal blocks her. Crystal kind of threatens legal action. So and she goes into her night shift at the club and just has a letter that says, "We regret to inform you that blah blah blah. We're not going to offer you the role." It's like. She works there. Why write her a letter? Just call her into the office and talk. Yeah. You know, weird. Anyway, yeah. So she's lined up to be Crystal's understudy, but then Crystal blocks her. And then, as revenge, one night while they're walking down the stairs after a big number, Naomi just shoves Crystal down the stairs. Yeah. Just like nothing subtle about this. It's not like the throwing of the beads where no. She just like shoves her down the stairs. She goes flying down the stairs, breaks her hip. And obviously that means she's out of action for quite some time.
Yes. To be honest, at this point with the stair pushing, I don't actually know who was who.
Yeah.
Because they're all wearing very similar costumes, which is like heavy makeup and wigs.
The makeup gets thicker and thicker as the movie goes on, doesn't it?
Yeah. It really does, yeah. And so I genuinely didn't know who pushed who down the stairs.
Yeah. It's a mystery, yeah. So she pushes her down the stairs, and in that she manages to get the leading role. She basically takes Crystal's role and becomes the lead dancer.
Yeah.
But all the other girls know what happened. Like, she denies it. She pretends nothing happened. I think the girl who also broke the other girl's knee, I guess she kind of sees her as a kindred spirit. So she kind of protects her and says that, oh no, she tripped. It was an accident.
Yeah.
But all the girls know what really happened. And so they all know that that Naomi was the one who did it, and so they all kind of resent her and hate her a little bit. And also Molly saw it, and she's really disappointed in Crystal because I guess, I mean, she's really disappointed in Naomi because I guess she really thought Naomi was better than this.
I guess, yeah.
What possible evidence have you seen, Molly, to make you think that Naomi wasn't this kind of person? Like,
She has random strikes of violence all throughout
like,
this movie.
oh, you've really let yourself down. You were really taking the high road before this moment. Like, what? So, to try and like cheer Molly up and like win her friendship back, Naomi takes Molly to like a swanky party being thrown by Kyle MacLachlan, I think.
Yeah.
At which Molly's favorite pop singer is going to appear. It was this greasy, hideous looking guy. Like, I don't understand this at all. He's called Andrew Carver.
Yeah.
I guess he's supposed to be like a Michael Bolton kind of guy. I'm not sure. You don't know who that is. I know.
No.
Never mind. I was thinking of like long, greasy hair in the 90s. It wasn't not a thing, you know, but still, this guy looks very unappealing as a pop star. I don't know why this like very pretty young African American girl will be like, oh my god, he's so sexy. Like, come on, you've got better options.
Yeah, big time.
But anyway, she's really into this guy. So Naomi takes her to a party where this guy is appearing, and then this film takes a very dark and upsetting turn because poor Molly just fully gets gang raped by this pop singer.
Yeah.
And like this film is very popular with like they do like it's like The Room or Sleepaway Camp, where it's in that category of like movies where they do comedy showings and people are like laugh along and like this scene usually gets cut.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it's really the same. It's like, oh, this isn't as much fun.
Yeah,
this is hard to laugh at. This is just upsetting. Like, because she really gets like, she gets gang raped, and it's a very explicit, violent gang rape scene. It's really unpleasant by this guy, and it doesn't make sense because this guy hasn't been a character in the film.
No,
and this is like 10 minutes from the end,
and like this would be such a good thing to be like, oh, this is what like Naomi's bad behavior has led to, but it's not. It's essentially a chance encounter. It's like, how is anybody supposed to know that this celebrity is a rapist? It's completely unrelated to anything. It's completely
random. Naomi never feels bad about it. Like she gets, I know she stands up for it, but she never like takes personal responsibility for it particularly.
Yeah,
it feels like what
I guess that Molly was a bit drunk.
Yeah,
but like not a lot drunk.
No, she wasn't like out of control at all. No.
Yeah.
She's like, literally, like I said, she's the only nice character in the the only character who has no moral, like.
I mean, I clocked it pretty much immediately. That just like, well, I was kind of close. I knew that something bad was going to happen. I thought that she was going to die.
Sure, yeah.
I thought like immediately I was like, this character is going to die at some point.
Yeah,
that's going to happen.
She's too good she's too pure for this world.
Yeah.
But it feels like the film would make a lot more sense because this literally happens 10 minutes from the end of the film. This whole sequence feels so weird and rushed. It would make more sense if Kyle MacLachlan raped her.
Yeah.
Because he's like been set up as like a sleazeball. And then that would be like Naomi could get revenge on him because he's actually like had a part in all of this. But this guy just comes out of nowhere, violently rapes poor Molly, and then Naomi gets her revenge. And then it's like, oh, credits roll. Yeah. Like, it's such a weird choice in the last 10 minutes of the film to introduce this new section. Really makes no sense. So,
I can see how it could be fairly easily cut out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't contribute to the plot particularly. Like, so poor Molly gets gang raped, and then she's hospitalized. She ends up in hospital with like she's been severely beaten. She's in like more or less in a coma, like a medically induced coma. And so Naomi decides to get revenge for her. So then she gets all dressed up in her finest leopard skin print. She looks like Mel B in her Scary Spice days. Yeah. And she goes to this like pop star guy's apartment, I guess, like his villa, I don't know. And I guess they just assume that she's some prostitute. Just she comes in and she does like a striptease for him. I never thought I'd say these words, but I need to talk for a while about her nipples in this scene.
It was shocking.
Did you notice this too?
Yeah.
Had she put lipstick on them?
I think so.
What was going on?
It was so weird.
Her nipples were like post box red.
Yeah, like just when I thought this film couldn't go any further.
Yeah.
I was like, why are her nipples suddenly this color? What's happened?
It was
because like in previous bits of the movie,
we've seen a lot of these nipples.
The star of the show is the only one to have her nipples like with jewels on them, and stuff, and that's like the thing that makes her stand out from the others.
Sure, yeah.
And so they've got to the state of decorating nipples. But the jewels and stuff looks good and classy.
It is like she just took like a tube of lipstick and just like smeared them all over her nips. It's weird. And it's never mentioned. It's never like, why has she done that? Like, because then the guy starts like chewing her nipples. I'm like, is he going to come away with like on his teeth and stuff? Like,
that would be great.
That'd be great if he just like pulled away and he's just like, what the fuck? Like, because it really looked like that. But yeah. So she comes in a like weird leopard skin print pillbox dress and her weird lipsticky nipples. He starts like actually gnawing on her nipples, like properly like a hamster on like a little water bottle, just like, you know, chomping away. And then she just pulls a knife on him. I think the same knife from the start of the film. And then she just like Miss Piggy from the Muppet, like, hi-ya! Just like high kicks him.
Yeah, like, so first of all, she threatens to like slit his throat or something.
Yeah.
What does she say? Like,
one move and I'll skew you like a pig. She says something stupid.
Something, but like, does she reference that he raped her friend? I'm not even sure.
No, I don't think yet she ever explains to him why she's beating him up.
Yeah, which like, so he's not going to learn the lesson then.
Not really, no.
And so then like she's got the knife against his throat, but then when she takes it back, you know, like she's made the threat or whatever, then out of nowhere she starts kickboxing him. But it's all like the highest, roundest kicks, all to the face as well. Like, you're going to damn near kill this man.
Yeah, I think that's the intention, that she's trying to kill him.
Yeah, well, why not just stab him with a knife then?
True, yeah.
So, yeah, I just really didn't know what to make of that. I feel like that's not the way that a man like that is going to learn his lesson. I think that's going to make him more bitter, if anything.
Yeah.
Just going to make a problem worse. But I wouldn't put it past Naomi to have not thought something through.
I don't think she thinks anything through. I like how she then like struts out, because he's got these two bodyguards who also gang raped Molly, and she doesn't beat them up. No. But like she walks out and she's like, "Oh,
that's a good point." Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's really tired. He needs to lie down. Like, is this apartment soundproof? Did they not hear all of what just happened?
I mean, maybe you could pass it off as aggressive sex.
I mean, maybe, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, very aggressive, but yeah. I mean, I guess that's what he's into.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So she.
I mean, she's lucky that she didn't get promising young woman, to be honest.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Like, this is a man who is known for gang raping. So you're going to go as like a probably, you know, not very strong woman. Probably not super weak. She's quite a dancer.
Yeah,
but
she burns.
Yeah, but you're gonna go there with like 3 quite muscly large men and hope that you don't get raped.
Oh, she has. Yeah, she really walks into the belly of the beast for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So she beats the shit out of this guy. She high kicks into within an inch of his life, and then she goes back to Molly, who's still kind of in a coma at the hospital, and then she just gives it this like ratty toy that we've never seen before.
No, we had seen it before.
Oh, had we? Okay.
Yeah, we'd seen it in the camper van. And
okay.
And I was like, what? Why have they got like a teddy bear? Like,
oh, I missed that callback. Okay.
These women are not like young women or something. No. It's weird.
Well, I mean, their emotional age really seems to vary.
Yeah.
Like at certain times, Molly seems pretty together, and then other times they're both like, "You ate all the chips! Oh my god!" It's like, and suddenly they're 12. Like, it's mad. But anyway, she goes to Molly. Poor Molly is like comatose and has nobody to look after her, and Nomi's just like, "Just so you know, I beat the shit out of that guy. Goodbye forever." And just like leaves her.
Yeah.
Just abandons her in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to help her to like recuperate and do her physio?
I don't know. Because like she's got no one.
She
lives in a caravan by herself.
And now she's got no tenant with no rent.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also, why is it that she can only afford a caravan? Like, she's the only costume designer for a hotel that puts on a very big show in Vegas. Like, there's probably her wage is probably normal at minimum.
Well, that's the other thing that made no sense to me. So you're right. She is the costume designer for a show that is clearly having millions of dollars spent. So that's got to be a reasonable salary.
Yeah.
But also there's a random scene that is never mentioned anytime apart from when it happens, where she's like, talks about being a student. She's like, 6 more weeks and they're going to have to give me that degree. I was like, well, first of all, that's just called graduating. Yeah. Yes, if you keep going for 6 more weeks and you pass your exams, they will have to give it to you. That's how education works. But also, what? How are you doing? Are you costume designing for the biggest show in Las Vegas as a part-time gig in between studying for a degree?
I guess, yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, that would explain why she can only live in a caravan.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, sure. Yeah, maybe she's just interning. I don't know. But yeah, so poor old Molly just gets left at the end of this film, like comatose, beaten to within an inch of her life, and then Nomi's like, well, bye, and just like starts and just leaves, rides off into the sunset. So then the movie ends with her hitchhiking once again, and in a very improbable turn of events, the same guy who, from the start of the movie,
was just ridiculous.
just picks her up again.
Yeah.
And doesn't recognize her until she's in the car.
Well, it's weird because like she goes hitching in full disguise as though like so she can surprise this guy,
Yeah.
which is just okay.
As if she was planning for him to pick her up.
Yeah, it was all
Of
a
all
long
the
game.
cars coming out of Vegas on any given day, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah, and it ends with him like her pulling a knife on him again and being like, "Where's the fuck's my suitcase?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Has it not been like 2 years?
Yeah.
How much time has passed? You're not gonna get. I don't know. Yeah. But then and that's it. And then it rides off, and the credits roll. We see there's been a big billboard for Naomi Malone in Showgirls, but clearly the show's over, and the film wraps up.
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
that is the genius. That
Why?
is Showgirls.
Why did she leave?
I guess because she had done all she wanted to do. She'd ruined everyone's life. Oh, I forgot. She goes to see Molly.
Yep.
She also goes to see Crystal.
Yeah.
And Crystal forgives her for breaking her hip.
And then they have a right big snog.
They have a good old lesbian snog, and that's the end of their
Yeah.
storyline. Yeah.
God knows why Crystal actually forgave her for that. Because, like, yeah, sure, Crystal did the same thing to, like, her previous.
Yeah, she says that she did it to a previous girl, and also that she got millions from the legal settlement with the
Yeah, sure,
casino.
but, like, why not just say something?
True, yeah.
Like, what do you owe Naomi?
No, exactly. yeah.
Nothing at all.
It doesn't make a whole heap of sense.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that maybe she leaves because Carl McLaughlin doesn't call the police about the rape. But
yeah, I mean, she is
but-
now
but-
wanted for beating a man up, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think basically Naomi looks around. She's like, well, I've ruined the lives of literally everyone I've met now. My work here is done. Out. Mic drop. I'm out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, her leaving is what ruins, like, the show for the hotel.
Yeah, exactly. She's ruined Molly's life because poor Molly's in a coma now. She's ruined Crystal's life. She's broken hip. She's out of the show. Her only boyfriend is now living with is now engaged to a woman he doesn't love because he's knocked her up or whatever. And now she's just bankrupted the show. So she's just literally nobody is better off having met this crazy woman. Like everyone's much worse off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's Showgirls.
Like I say, this film's a bit silly.
It is a bit silly, yeah. That is the understatement of the century. It's a lot of fun, though. I'm very glad that we got around to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have great tits. They're really beautiful.
Thank you.
I like nice tits. I always have. How about you?
I like having nice tits.
How do you like having them?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
Okay, so drinking games. First one I've got. Now, bear with me on this.
Okay.
Drink for a tit.
Drink for a tit. I mean, Harry, that's not possible. There's multiple scenes when the tit count is like in double figures. You know, I would say I've actually done an reverse of that. I'm drink every time Naomi is fully clothed. Drink every time someone puts clothes on. That's That's a much safer drinking game. You can't just drink for a tit.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a drink for weird food scenes.
Oh yeah.
We've talked about obviously the classic at the beginning, like different places, just flinging chips around. Also, like just spray. Even I love my vinegar, but the way she's spraying condiments onto those chips, it's bizarre. There's just also scenes where she's just eating burgers, but just like aggressively. I mean, she does everything aggressively. She's just an angry young woman, but when she's just angrily biting into these burgers, and she just like litters.
Yeah.
The flagrant littering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how they sort of draw attention to it as well.
Yeah.
Because like she could sort of throw it over her shoulder and then nothing, but like it's so
It lingers. Yeah.
it's so flamboyant as well.
Yeah. It's like, are we supposed to be impressed by this?
Yeah. I just don't get it.
Yeah. She's a weird heroine to have in a film. Yeah.
Yeah. Drunk whenever she doesn't know how something is supposed to look.
Oh, okay.
Like how sex is supposed to look, how dancing is supposed to look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. How nipples are supposed to look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had a drink every time she mispronounces something.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of that. There's a running joke about how she doesn't know how Versace is pronounced, for example.
yeah.
It's Versace.
See, that sort of thing like could be funny in like
Well, that
better
is
films.
that is played for laughs because the first time she says it, all the other characters like look at each other like, and she says, "Oh, the store, Versace." Oh, Versace.
Yeah.
She's just stupid.
Drink for male nudity.
Male nudity, yeah, it's there. It's
It's way less than female, obviously.
yeah, I don't think we see a dick, but we do see a lot of bum. We see a lot of bare ass and a lot of male torsos, obviously. But
Yeah.
I don't think we go quite as far as a dick, but yeah, it's in there. Yeah. Okay. Drink every time. This is a big one. Naomi snatches something from someone. She never just like takes it. It's always just like a snatch. Like usually accompanied by a strop. But yeah.
Drunk whenever she strops out.
I mean, drink when she strops out, you'll die. You'll
Yeah.
die. But yeah.
Drunk whenever anybody is unreasonably rude.
Okay. I mean, it's mostly her.
It is mostly her, but like on occasion, it like somebody will just out of nowhere just be like, and then you got to give me a blowjob.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was like, shut those fucking children up, and
Yeah.
whatever else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of very unpleasant people in this film. There's no getting around it. Drink every time. This is the opposite of that, I guess. Drink every time someone is kind to Naomi for no reason.
Yeah, that's my next one
Like,
too.
why are you being so nice to this incredibly unpleasant, unstable person?
And it's not just that; it's drink whenever people are weirdly persistent
In being nice to her, yeah.
with friendships based on literally zero friendly behavior.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are you pursuing this? What are you getting out of this relationship?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
yeah. I've got drink for an overreaction.
Yeah, I've got that too. Every time she overreacts to a situation, for sure. Yeah. I think when she has the massive fit about not getting to be Crystal Connor's understudy, like she starts like throwing things and screaming. She gets the letter saying she's been rejected to be the understudy. She storms into Cal McLaughlin's office.
She like has to throw the receptionist.
That's
out
what I mean.
way.
The receptionist is just this poor
rugby
woman
tackles
who's
her.
just walking out. It's like minding her own business. No, we just like shoves her into the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
It's like,
She's
what did
done
she ever do?
nothing.
She has done nothing to deserve this. Yeah. Oh, I loved that. It's so funny. Yeah. So every time Naomi overreacts to something, 100%. Drink for nails. There's a lot of reference to Naomi's nails and her nail painting ability.
Yeah, but it rarely comes up. I really thought somebody was going to get their face scratched.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna deliver something. It really doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, that went nowhere.
Yeah.
Last one I got, it's not really a good one. It's drink for dancing.
Drink for dancing. Well, drink for bad dancing for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Drink for questionable dancing, absolutely. Yeah. I had drink for jarring tonal shifts. Yeah, when a scene goes from being like,
yeah, especially like with just her acting.
yeah, exactly. When her acting goes from like zeros, but just generally like when you go from a scene with like everyone's got their tits out and it's all hilarious, and then suddenly there's a sad emotional moment. You're like, well, I don't know how to feel about this right now.
Yeah,
but yeah, that was my last one, I think.
very good.
What a film! What a film!
Yeah.
We could have brought anyone into this show. Janet Jackson, Paula Abdul. Naomi Malone is what Las Vegas is all about. She's dazzling, she's exciting, and very, very sexy. Thank you, Zach.
Okay, so listeners, I'm not going to promote our Patreon page this week because while I'm having some major life updates, which have been somewhat revealed on the show already, I am getting married and I am having a baby kind of soon.
It can in that order, yeah.
Getting hopefully, goddamn. It is getting quite scary.
It's it's not it's a matter of weeks at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the year, I should be a dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, either that or Louise will be very, very big, very uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, I mean, no.
It's possible that would be 2 weeks late.
Oh, okay. Is that within the margin of error? The end of the year.
I mean, it's to the extreme end. But,
Okay, sure.
But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that wouldn't happen.
You say that, don't you? You say that now.
Anyway, so because of that, and just time constraints and stuff like that, I don't really feel like I can put the best effort into this podcast. So we're going to draw this podcast to a close. Shortly towards the end of the year. Maybe I'll go into the start of next year.
Well, we're going to end on episode 250. We're on episode about 236 now. So we thought we'd wrap it up on a clean 5 years, 250 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, well, for sure we'll be doing something special on that last episode.
We haven't decided what yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe the long-awaited nude episode. You never know.
Yeah. So from now until then, we're basically just doing our bucket list movies.
Yeah.
Just the absolute best movies that we can think of, the ones that we've always meant to do, this being one of them. And so hopefully it's all going to be great episodes from now on.
We are hoping, yeah.
So that's the plus from this.
Exactly, yeah. We're hoping to go on a good old run of, high quality films.
Yeah, so to sum up, the podcast is ending and you can play my unborn child.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Got a little dartboard and everything.
What, with the ultrasound?
With the I've got the ultrasound in the It's like,
well, Ash. So yeah, that's that.
that's the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be fair to for those listeners who are not patrons for us to now be plugging for you to sign up, because realistically you're only going to get a few weeks of content and then we're gonna wind it down. It's a sad time, but that being said, we still have another 15 or so episodes that we're very much looking forward, and we're going to continue with our bonus shows. We've got a lot of films we're looking forward to seeing. We're going to finally see Shang-Chi on Friday.
Yeah, finally.
We're hoping to see...
I'll be back up to date with Marvel for the first time in about 10 years.
It's been killing him, yeah.
I did a little... me and Louise had the honeymoon recently, and so we did a little... but we didn't go to the cinema in case we got ill.
Yeah, good call, Yeah. So we're gonna do Shang-Chi. I'm really looking forward to seeing Malignant if we can squeeze it in. And it's that time of year. There's gonna be some good stuff coming up. So
I mean, Oscar season is coming right around, and who knows? Hopefully, we'll still be able to do something like that. I don't know. I mean, we'll probably still be, by which I mean we'll probably still be watching all the films.
I hope so. Yeah. Well, I will be. I'm not having a fucking baby.
And who knows? If we've got the time, might still do reviews and stuff like that, because that's quite fun. Yeah,
we might still pop in here and there, onto your feed. But ultimately, the word is out. We're going to be winding it down around the end of the year. So thank you very much for all the support. If you have been a long time listener, we appreciate you. If you're a recent listener, we appreciate you just as much. It's great. Please do hang in there for the last few episodes. Don't jump ship now. So. We won't promote Patreon anymore because, as I say, it wouldn't be particularly fair. But we do very much appreciate you, and we'll keep it going until the end of the year, and then we'll wind it all down. Yeah. As Harry moves on to a new chapter in his life.
Right, now enough of that.
Okay, let's move on to
sequels for
Showgirls. Yeah, speaking of jarring tonal shifts, sequels to Showgirls.
So I've got an idea for a bit of a crossover.
Sure.
Burlesque.
Well, I think Burlesque is the modern Showgirls.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So I decided that Nomi and I think Ali was Christina Aguilera.
Yeah.
They do some kind of a collaboration because they're both big names in their fields, and they blur the lines between the class of Burlesque and the crass of whatever this shit was.
Well, okay. How about this? Maybe Gina Gershon as Crystal Connors. This film was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe, bit of time passes, a few plastic surgeries here and there. She becomes Cher, yeah. She opens a new club and now she's Cher. Or maybe her and Cher are long lost sisters. That could be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Nomi and Christina Aguilera's character Ali in Burlesque have a lot of similarities.
Big time.
Just being very unlikable for a start and
just sort of demanding of everything.
Yeah.
You need to be the star.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Not really treating anyone with any kind of kindness or gratitude. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That crossover, definitely. I think a lot of people, when Burlesque came out, were like, yeah, this is very much the new Showgirls. So,
big time, yeah. But you know what? I think it's a good film. So
true, yeah. You're a notable Burlesque defender, so yeah.
Yeah, I quite like Burlesque. But
I love Burlesque, but I wouldn't say it was good.
Is it bad though?
I think it's entertaining.
It's entertaining for sure, yeah. And not all for good reasons.
It's certainly not as
some of it is a little bizarre, but it's not a bad movie.
I don't think it's as and I love Showgirls. I don't think it's as bad as Showgirls. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Another crossover idea with a more recent film, Army of the Dead.
Oh, that Zack Snyder film, sure.
So zombie outbreak in Vegas.
But
Nomi, as the current star of this show, so in pretty much all my sequels, she sticks in her show.
Okay.
She doesn't leave. She is the first to get turned into a zombie.
Sure. Would anyone notice? She's already dead behind the eyes and very aggressive.
Well, I was going to say that because she's still played by Elizabeth Berkley, who has clearly not seen how anything works, doesn't know how zombies behave, so just kind of does the same sort of thing. just kind of carries on. No one really notices, and that's how people start getting bitten.
I see. Yeah, she's like a stealth zombie.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. And I've also done another one 25 years later.
Oh wow. Okay.
So not
Up
connected
to the present. Yeah.
not connected to the zombie one. She's in the same position that Crystal was in, so she's
the top dog. Yeah.
she's the top dog, and she's been there for like a few decades. And there's some young talent that's going to try and take her place or whatever. But the main difference is because she's the top dog, and everyone needs to respect her dancing. They need to respect her, but she doesn't know how to dance. But nobody's got the guts to tell her.
After all these years, no one's ever stood up to her and be like, actually, this is not how human beings dance. Yeah.
Quite the opposite, in fact. They've all tried to mimic
Emulate
her
her,
dancing
yeah.
style. So now that's just what dancing is these
Oh
days.
God. Okay. So she's become like a trendsetter.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention actually. Speaking of trendsetters.
Okay.
So, do you know who was almost cast not as Elizabeth Berkley but as Crystal Connors as the Gina Gershon character?
No.
Madonna.
Right.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row we've had a Madonna connection. Yeah.
What was the one last time?
Casablanca. She wanted to remake it with Ashton Kutcher.
Ah, right. Yeah.
And it was like 3 weeks ago that we recorded the episode, but yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying to remember. Like, was Casablanca the last one? I could swear Madonna wasn't alive then.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that could have.
How old is she?
Yeah, that I don't know if she would have been any worse. I say worse. I think Gina Gershon's amazing. It would have been interesting. Yeah. I'm glad Gina Gershon got it.
Sure, but I would have gone with Madonna because I don't know who Gina Gershon is.
No, sure, but I think she gives a good. She's a good performance. Like, so, but yeah, Madonna it would have added to the campy silliness of it by far. Yeah,
Yeah, big time. So yeah, those are the ones that I've kind of fleshed out a little bit. But do you know what's great about this movie?
Yeah.
Lots of words rhyme with show.
Oh, great! Hit me.
So I've got No Girls.
No Girls. Is that just an empty
basically
stage?
just the men of this film getting very confused and
God, I mean, what man? Like Kyle MacLachlan and James,
audience members and stuff.
Oh, I see. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And like no one's got strip clubs anymore. What do they go? What do they do? What happens?
Is it like the invasion of the body snatchers? All the women all the strippers have just been stolen from Vegas.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, everything's just empty.
Yeah.
Low Girls. It's the Showgirls, but they're just doing limbo.
Okay, that's the act. Yeah.
Slow Girls. It's the same film but with slow mo. Imagine that sex scene in slow motion.
Oh dear God! All those breasts just like in slow
Flapping.
pendulous motion. Yeah. Dear me.
Snow Girls. It's like the remember that snowman cartoon.
Oh yeah,
We're
walking in the air. Yeah.
But this in the style of that.
So a little boy who doesn't really believe in Christmas is woken up in the middle of the night by a hooker who then takes him into the sky, lets him feel her boobs, and then melts away. And he's like, no, I'm not even finished wanking.
Come back next year.
Beautiful, yeah.
Oh dear. Pro Girls. It's the same sort of thing, but she can actually dance now. She's a professional.
Okay, good.
Blow Girls.
I dread to think.
Let's skip over that one.
Okay.
I tried to type Hello Girls because that apparently rhymes, and then it auto-corrected to Yellow Girls.
Okay.
So Yellow Girls. Maybe it's
what's that gonna be?
this, but like done by The Simpsons, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
To be honest,
Oh my God, a Simpsons take
I
on.
wonder if The Simpsons has taken the piss out of this film at some point.
I mean, how would you do that though? Without making it so upsetting. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want Lisa Simpson as.
Oh
No.
no! Oh.
No. I don't know. Maybe Patty and Selma. I don't know.
Miss Grapple.
But Scrabapple could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they've gone there, and I don't think they should. It feels
No.
like more of a Family Guy kind of thing.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. Well, I've got a few here that are crossovers as well. Glow Girls.
Okay, no, that could work. Like
That really works.
Vegas strippers versus female wrestlers. Yeah.
Yeah. Crow Girls. So for this, I'm thinking it's remember that film that Moira Rose did? in Schitt's Creek?
Crowaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the porn stars try to become actors and end up in a really bad horror movie. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Monroe Girls. They'll get stuck doing Marilyn Monroe impressions.
Sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
That'd be
Writes
great.
itself. Yeah.
Dough Girls.
Okay.
They're all made of sexy bread.
Okay.
I'm thinking like sausage party.
Unpack
sort
that
of
one for me. Sexy bread. What? They're all made of sexy bread.
thing. Yeah, that's what I wrote here. I didn't really think about it.
So what you mean is they're all bread? They're all like food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm thinking a sausage party sort of thing.
Okay. Or Dough Girls could just be the story of like Mama Bazoom.
Yes.
You know, 'cause she's a plus size lady with her breasts popping out, kind of thing.
I love the action. Thank you.
That's what she does.
It's just for me, isn't it?
It
'Cause-
was just for you. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Faux girls,
Fake women,
drag queens.
drag queens. Yeah, I mean, this film is a drag queen classic.
Oh, big time.
It's
Yeah.
a huge drag.
Yeah.
There are, like I said, this is another one of those films where like drag queens have built careers out of like remaking this film, just
sure,
performing
yeah.
this film. Yeah.
And then I've also got Whoa Girls, which
Whoa,
is
girls.
actually a good version of this movie. Whoa.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant woe is in sadness, just like, oh, they're so upset. Woe is me. Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Weeping all the time. The emo version.
Totally works.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's...
Very good. Yeah. There's a lot of options to explore there.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Should we move on to my one?
Yeah.
Cool. So I just went for the one this week. I'll tell you the title at the end because it kind of spoils where I'm going with this. So I'm thinking it picks up immediately afterwards. So Naomi has left Vegas without any kind of announcement or, forwarding address. She just disappeared. And obviously when she leaves, it causes a great mystery because she was like the headline act at the biggest casino in Vegas. And a lot of people are wondering where she is. So Crystal Connors with her broken hip, and Molly, who's obviously recovering from her assault, they both heal up and recover from their injuries. And they both kind of bond over they know each other anyway because Molly was Crystal's costume designer. And they bond over having had this weird fleeting relationship with this mysterious girl who left them in the lurch.
Mysterious violent woman.
Who disappeared. And they decide that they're going to team up and track her down and get some answers.
Yeah.
So this film is actually going to be a road trip between Crystal and Molly as they hit the road.
Okay. Are they both still injured as well?
No, they've recovered. Yeah, obviously the wounds have only healed on the flesh and they've got a lot of probably psychological damage. But
well, I was just wondering if like Crystal could still be like in a wheelchair or something.
No, I'm thinking she's probably she's probably got a little bit of jip in the hip, but on the whole she's okay.
Sure.
On the whole, they're both okay.
Yeah,
that could be a plot point for sure. But I like the idea of having these two supporting characters take up with a leading role now and like teaming up, and they just decide to track down Naomi, find out where she is, and try and figure out if she's okay because they're worried about her.
Okay. So I was going to say just track her down and beat her up or something.
No. It's more out of concern that they're like they want to know if she's because they inexplicably really like her, and they're like, well, I hope she's okay. So let's find out where she's gone.
Sure.
So they start looking out for where she went, and they begin with a very easy lead because the trucker who picked her up at the end of the original film, he has reported that his truck was stolen by her. So
not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all. So they track him down and interrogate him a little bit. They could be like playing good cop, bad cop,
I mean, like, they're just members of the public. He's just a guy. They don't need to interrogate him. They could just ask him nicely. But I love the idea that they do actually fully interrogate him.
Yes, I mean, I'm going with the vibe that Showgirls is a ridiculous movie, so nothing quite makes sense.
Yeah.
So they interrogate him, and he admits that he had met her before. He picked her up on the way into Vegas, and then he randomly ran into her again. He took her as far as Death Valley, which is another part of Nevada, and then she booted him out and stole his truck and left him in the road.
Did you have to look that up, or did you know that?
I know Nevada relatively.
Okay.
It's one of the more well-known American states. It's got quite a few landmarks. So sorry,
I'd like to test you sometimes.
Sure. So she took the truck at Death Valley and disappeared. So they kind of follow her steps. And what I'm thinking is the majority of this movie I'm pitching here is that they keep following her trail of where she's gone, and that all along the way they keep running into people who have taken Naomi, been kind to her, taken her under their wing, and all it's done is left them destroyed. It's brought them nothing but bad luck because she is just a force of destruction and bad luck. So they could maybe run into like some kindly motel owners who let her stay the night for free because she had nowhere to sleep. The next day she'd burnt the whole motel down and was maybe a few miles down the road from that they find this like side road restaurant where the owner allowed Naomi to work a few shifts as a waitress to make a bit of money, and then she ended up like high kicking a customer in the face for complaining about the food or something. Just like she's just constantly overreacting and causing more problems and just leaving a path of destruction in her wake. So they keep following her, and the trail keeps getting colder and colder and warmer. It's it's a lot of back and forth, and then finally they catch up with her. And the place where they catch up with her is another famous Nevada, which is the state where Vegas is. Another famous Nevada landmark, Area 51.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So they arrive at
an alien this whole time?
They arrive at Area 51, and it is a scene of total chaos. There are like dead scientists everywhere. The equipment's all broken. There's fires.
shit.
It's dramatic. It's very dramatic. And Nomi is sitting in the main, I don't know, equipment, whatever. She's hijacked the main computers, whatever, and she is sending out a signal to the cosmos. And the reason she's doing that, they confront her and ask her what the hell she's doing, and she finally reveals the truth about herself. She is an alien.
Got it.
Nomi is an alien, and this
Got it.
explains why she doesn't understand like basic human interactions, like how to eat food or
How to dance, how to have sex.
how to have a normal human conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's so ridiculous, and this explains everything about her. So we get a flashback, and it turns out like pre-Showgirls, she was brought down to Earth as part of like a study group. You know, an alien race that was studying Earth by like impersonating humans.
Right, okay.
Did you ever watch that sitcom Third Rock from the Sun?
No.
Well, anyway, it's like that. Fine. But yeah, it's basically aliens who like pose as humans and integrate themselves into society, and they would always do it in groups. But something went wrong, and Nomi was abandoned. The mission went wrong, and she was left alone with none of her alien companions, and she was stranded on Earth, not really understanding how humans work because she's quite a young alien.
Yeah.
And that's why she spent the entirety of Showgirls like trying to live as a human being, just being this crazy ass bitch because she wasn't actually a human being. So she had to learn kind of by doing how to, you know, do basic things like eating or reacting in stressful situations, you know, things that she never learned how to do properly. So Crystal and Molly, when they've learned her backstory, they help her to get a message back to her home planet, and it's a race against the. It's like a race against the clock. It's kind of like ET at this point. It's a race against time to get her back onto the mothership before the FBI arrive and like shut the whole place down.
Yeah.
So they're like desperately trying to like help her to like reach out. Maybe they get a message back from her race, her home planet, and they send a spaceship down to pick her up and take her home. But before the mothership can arrive, the FBI turn up, and it's like, you know, it's guns and they're surrounding the building, and they're like, come up with your hands up, whatever, all this kind of stuff. And so Crystal, to help Nomi to get home, she distracts the FBI with a sexy dance. So she does a full routine, you know, tits out, just doing a whole Crystal Connors routine. Meanwhile, Molly is helping Nomi to finalize the communications and board the alien mothership, which has just landed. So yeah, Molly takes Nomi up to the deck of the mothership. The other aliens disembark, and Nomi finally assumes her natural form, which is just a giant nipple. Just a giant anthropomorphic nipple.
Great. Is it bright red?
Bright red, of course, yeah. And I'm thinking this could be very like end of E.T., where maybe she like points with something, I don't know. points at Molly and goes, "I'll be right here," and just points straight at her vagina. Because, you know, it's Showgirls. And then she gets on board and flies back down to her home planet. And Crystal and Molly are left on the Earth just tearfully waving goodbye. And so that is Showgirls 2, Starship Hooters.
Brilliant.
Because, you know, Starship Troopers,
Got
same
it.
director, yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, that was my sequel to Showgirls.
Well done.
It was very much just like, well, Nomi's clearly an alien. And I just took it from there. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that lines up pretty well.
Cool.
Very good.
Should we move on to listener submissions?
Yes.
Cool. I have a few this week. RJ Ellie said a Showgirls Saved by the Bell crossover. So I know you've never seen Saved by the Bell, but obviously that's where Elizabeth Berkley is most famous. So you could maybe combine the characters. I don't know. Nick Bischoff said Snow Girls is about the lives and loves of strippers in Alaska. I like that, the idea of like it's like the top strip club, but in like Alaska, like the depths of like, you know, it's always cold, so it's like what's a strip club?
The nipples are always erect.
Yeah, what is a strip club like in like Alaska? What is that going to look like?
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Would you call it the erect nipple?
You'd have to, wouldn't you? Really? Yeah. The frozen tip. I don't know. Yeah. Susie Baumgard said it's a horror movie where the angry fries take revenge on Nomi. It's also a musical. It'll be very appealing. So,
yeah,
very good. Andrew Russo said the show Don't Tell Girls. It's the same movie, but exposition free. Rose Weldon said a serious character-driven piece about Molly finding other girls with similar stories about Andrew Carver, the scary rapist pop star, and her fight for justice after her attack and being left alone by her former best friend Nomi.
So that sounds fun.
Yeah, it gives Molly I guess that makes Molly the main character. Rachel Raphael said I really want to know what the storyline is for the show at the Stardust that includes monkeys and some sort of black leather BDSM number with motorcycles and Adam and Eve outfits. So I guess they just want to say, like, what is this show? What's happening here?
Yeah.
What's going on? Connor Crehan said Showgirls 2, The Crystal Connors Chronicles. It's a lot of C's. Connor Crehan wants The Crystal Connors Chronicles. That is a hell of a lot of C's. Very good. Ryan Klima said Shogun Girls.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Japanese version, I guess. Kaylee Chavez said Showgirls 2000, Robo Showgirls. All the strippers are also robots.
Yeah.
Mario Holland said Showboys. I guess that's just Magic Mike. On Twitter, Gidget Von LaRue, at Gidget Von LaRue, said Nomi starts a dance class in LA in which the son of the guy she beat up arrives to seek revenge, and she has to use her own skills and the skills of her students to fight them off. I like that. She becomes like a shogun leader.
Yeah.
And finally, Martin MG Loves Fun, our friend from our last episode, just said Showgirls 2, all caps, show me your tits. I mean, Martin, I think they did. Like, I would say excessively. Like, you really want, you were left, if you end Showgirls wanting more tits, I think you've misunderstood the movie.
I feel like I'm immune to it now.
I feel like, yeah, tits are done for me now.
I'm titted out.
You're all titted out, yeah. You're titterpated, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there we are. Martin's not, clearly. So thank you, everybody, for those sequel ideas. We ask for your listener submissions every week, a few days before we record, by putting posts out on Facebook and Twitter where you can post your ideas. So make sure you like and follow our pages if you don't want to miss out. To listen to more episodes of Beyond the Box Set, you can subscribe and browse our back catalogue on any podcasting platform, including Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and many others, in all of which you can also leave a 5-star review if you so wish. At this point, I would normally ask you to support us on Patreon, but as discussed, that's kind of winding down now. So all I will say is thanks for listening and stay tuned for the rest of the show. We've still got another 15 episodes or so, including our next episode, which is a Harry pick.
Yes.
So Harry, as we discussed, we are now purely in bucket list movie territory. So which of your bucket list have you selected for us next week?
Okay, well, this film, I'm not saying that it's inspired by Showgirls,
Sure.
but it's got a lot of similarities, and it came 2 years afterwards.
I'm intrigued. Go on.
However, it did it well.
It did it better, okay.
Yes. It won an Oscar.
Wow, okay.
It won Best Music. It was also nominated for Best Picture, Director, and Writing.
I'm intrigued.
And as also, it's British.
Okay, I've realised what this is now, yeah.
Did very well in the BAFTAs as well, winning Best Film and Actor and Supporting Actor.
Okay.
The Full Monty.
Yay, okay.
So this should be a good time.
This will be
right?
fun, yeah. That's a good film, yeah. A classic, a British classic. Yeah.
This has been on my bucket list for a while. I was going to choose it in the next couple of weeks, if not this week. But then after seeing this, I was like, now's the time.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Great,
So
okay.
this was always going to happen before we wrapped up, but
Now it's okay, cool.
Now.
I look forward to it. It's a good film.
Yeah, great.
Right, so join us next week, listeners, for The Full Monty.
Yeah. Thanks
See you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Different places.